The Almighty said, "And the companions of the thicket were also wrongdoers." The people of Madyan were the ones who were called the companions of the thicket in the Holy Quran. Their prophet was Shu'ayb, peace be upon him. Today, we will know their story and why they were called the companions of the thicket. Was their torment doubled, as it happened to the people of Thamud when Allah established the argument against them, and they disbelieved their prophet? How was their response to the invitation of Shu'ayb, peace be upon him, despite the method of leniency with his people and inviting them with argument? Did they respond to him, or did they do as some people did before them? The sending of Shu'ayb, peace be upon him, was before Moses, peace be upon him, as it was mentioned in the Holy Quran that Shu'ayb was sent after Hud, the prophet of the people of Ad, Salih, the prophet of the people of Thamud, and Lut, peace be upon them. The companions of the thicket were among whom it was said about, "Woe to those who give less than due, who, when they take a measure from people, take in full, but if they give by measure or by weight to them, they cause loss." Let's continue our journey together in the stories of the Quran. I advise you to follow the sequence of stories through the link in the description box. The Prophet of Allah Shu'ayb was sent to the people of Madyan, and Madyan is a city located in the north of Arabian Peninsula, between Mecca and Palestine. As for naming them the companions of the thicket, this was due to their worship of the thicket tree. Its shape forked, dense and wrapped branches, and the people of Madyan lived in dense places with trees, and so they were called by this name. Shu'ayb, peace be upon him, was known as the preacher of the prophets because of his eloquence, and this was clear in his invitation to his people to believe his message. But why did Allah send Shu'ayb, peace be upon him, to them? The people of Madyan, other than their worship of the thicket, gave less than due in the sales, and if they bought, fulfilled, and if they sold, they decreased, and in that of cheating and defrauding people in their trade. They also used to scare passerby and cut them off the way, and we know that it's not a good manner to terrorize the safe in the streets. And Islam came to prohibit that later, as our Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever pointed to his brother with a piece of iron, the angels curse him until he lets him, even if he is his brother, to his father and mother." Narrated by Muslim. So, the invitation of Allah's Prophet to them started to turn back from this manifest error. He used to call them good and soft. Allah conferred favor upon them with several blessings in all aspects of life, but this didn't make them think and believe on the invitation of Shu'ayb, peace be upon him. In terms of number, Allah made them a people many in number, after being few, as the Almighty said in Surah Al-A'raf. "And remember, when you were few and He increased you." In the terms of strength, they were strong, lurking people in the streets after being weak, helpless. And in terms of livelihood and pension, they were rich, and they owned orchard and crops, and they utilized its produce after they were poor and needy. And despite these blessings that they enjoy, they did not believe in the invitation of Shu'ayb, peace be upon him, and disbelieved in Allah the Almighty by worshipping that tree that they took as gods without Allah Almighty. The invitation of Allah's Prophet was not limited to monotheism and the rejection of idols alone, but to reform the social life that was widespread among them, as the corruption began to spread. So Shu'ayb, peace be upon him, invited them to establish the justice and give full measure and weight, and to preserve the rights of people and not to deprive them their due, so that corruption does not spread on earth. If they all deprive people of their due, who would establish justice among them? If they have established justice, it will be evident in the intimacy and love among them. The Almighty said in Surah Hud, And to Madyan we sent their brother Shu'ayb. He said, O my people, worship Allah. You have no deity other than Him. And do not decrease from the measure and the scale. Indeed, I see you in prosperity, but indeed, I fear for you the punishment of an all-encompassing day. Shu'ayb, peace be upon him, continued to invite his people. He didn't despair or decline his determination until a little believed in him. Shu'ayb rejoiced that of his people who thought and returned to the way of Allah. But the rest of his people did not leave those who believed with Shu'ayb, and they deterred those who believed in him from the way of Allah. Shu'ayb warned them in the saying of the Almighty in Surah Ash-Shu'ara. The companions of the thicket denied the messengers when Shu'ayb said to them, Will you not fear Allah? Indeed, I am to you a trustworthy messenger. So fear Allah and obey me, and I do not ask you for it any payment. My payment is only from the Lord of the worlds. Give full measure, and do not be of those who cause loss, and wait with an even balance. And do not deprive people of their due, and do not commit abuse on earth, spreading corruption. And fear He who created you and the former creation. They said, You are only of those affected by magic. You are but a man like ourselves, and indeed, we think you are among the liars. His people showed nothing but arrogance and ridicule towards him, describing him, peace be upon him, as a magician and a liar. They were surprised by Shu'ayb's invitation to them by saying, Are you the one we consider to be the most discerning? How can you advise us to lose our trade and even invite us to leave what our father and grandfathers worshipped? Shu'ayb continued to argue with them gently, preferring softness and attracting them with kindness. But the people were overwhelmed in delusion, and in temptation they swam. When Shu'ayb felt his people's unwillingness to respond to his invitation and their clear violation of the command of Allah Almighty, he began to warn them that only the righteous and those who believed in Allah and did not share with Him another God will be spared from the punishment of Allah. But his people were imperious and feared that religion would spread and weaken the position of the masters of the people from them. So they only threatened to expel those who believed with Shu'ayb from the village. The Almighty said about them in Surah Al-A'raf, Said the eminent ones who were arrogant among his people, We will surely evict you, O Shu'ayb, and those who have believed with you from our city, or you must return to our religion. He said, Even if we were unwilling? They have threatened Shu'ayb with the use of force. So they said, And indeed, we consider you among us as weak, and if not for your family, we would have stoned you to death, and you are not to us one respected. They weren't satisfied with that, but they asked Shu'ayb to bring the punishment if he should be of the truthful. This reminds us of the attitude of the people of Thamud, when they asked for the miracle of the camel with its distinctive characteristics from Salih, peace be upon him. And Allah responded to them and established the argument against them, and therefore their torment was the most severe torment. So did the people of Madyan when they asked him to pray to Allah to see if Allah would answer his prayer and support him and the believers who were with him. The Almighty said in Surah Ash-Shu'ara, So cause to fall upon us fragments of the sky if you should be of the truthful. He said, My Lord is most knowing of what you do. And they denied him. So the punishment of the day of the black clouds seized them. Indeed, it was the punishment of a terrible day. Indeed, in that is a sign. But most of them were not to be believers. When he despaired of their response, he said, O my people, work according to your position, means your way. And in this severe threat from Shu'ayb, peace be upon him, to his people, and I am working in my way, you are going to know to whom will come a punishment that will disgrace him, and who is a liar. So watch, indeed, I am with you, a watcher. awaiting the outcome. He prayed against them, and Allah answered his prayer and afflicted them with 3 types of torture for the ugliness of their actions and their bad manners. The first affliction plagued them with 7 days of scorching heat. Despite their unquenched thirst, water provided no relief, and neither shadows nor hills could shield them. Fleeing from the relentless sun, they sought refuge under what they mistook for a protective cloud, a shield from the intense heat. As they gathered beneath it, thinking it a shelter, the cloud suddenly unleashed swarms of sparks and flames upon them when their numbers were complete. The Almighty said, "So the punishment of the day of the black cloud seized them. Indeed, it was the punishment of a terrible day." The second type of torture was the earthquake. This means that the earth was shaken under their feet. The Almighty said in Surah Al-A'raf, "Said the eminent ones who disbelieved among his people, if you should follow Shu'ayb, indeed you would then be losers. So the earthquake seized them, and they became within their homes corpses fallen prone. And the shriek came to them, which was a strong sound from the sky." The Almighty said in Surah Hud, "And when our command came, we saved Shu'ayb and those who believed with him by mercy from us, and the shriek seized those who had wronged, and they became within their homes corpses fallen prone, as if they had never prospered therein. Then away with Madyan, as Thamud was taken away. Thus was their end, and their souls were lost, and they all perished. After patience and waiting, Allah triumphed to His Prophet, and it was revealed who was right and who was drowning in misguidance even after a while. So Allah collected varieties of torment from the ugliness of their attributes and misdeeds. So the earthquake was severe and stilled their restless behaviors, and the shriek to quench their voice, and the shadow to burn them from the sparks of fire in all parts. Hence we know from the story of the companions of the thicket that whoever underestimates in the measure and the balance and does not fulfill people's rights deserves severe punishment from Allah in this world and the hereafter. If it were an easy matter, Allah would not have warned against it in His almighty saying, "Woe to those who give less than due, who when they take a measure from people, take in full. But if they give by measure or by weight to them, they cause loss. Do they not think that they will be resurrected for a tremendous day, the day when mankind will stand before the Lord of the worlds?" The religion of Allah exists and is not stopped by denial or mockery, for Allah is the best preserver of His religion and His prophets, peace be upon them. The truth, no matter how long it takes, will rise, even if it's delayed, and falsehood remains invalid, even if its followers increase and its supporters increase. And we are in the time of strife, so do not be deceived by the abundance of falsehood. The Almighty said, "Say, not equal are the evil and the good, although the abundance of evil might impress you. Allah Almighty is truthful." May the followers of documentary from start to end remain in peace until we meet again.